Hey guys, welcome back to another CP Life video. I'm going to talk about my story a little bit. When I was born, I had a brain injury in my brain, or I had a bleed. I had a brain hemorrhage, and that gave me the ability not to be able to walk. So when I was 3 years old, I got my first wheelchair because I wasn't able to walk, or my balance is off a little bit, so I don't have really good balance. But I don't let my cerebral palsy define who I am. When I was a baby, I was very, very sick, and I had to be in the hospital until I believe until I was like 7 months old or something. I was hooked up to a ventilator, and I was hooked up to a lot of tubes because I was so small and I wasn't getting enough nutrients. So they hooked me up to a feeding tube, and that's how I got, because I wasn't able to eat from a bottle yet because my body was really weak and I just wasn't getting the proper nutrients. So I was in the hospital for a long time, and then once I got better, I was able to come home. My parents had to be very, very gentle with it because I was still on machines and apnea monitors to help me breathe, and I especially had to be careful when people came over to our house because I was very, very susceptible to germs. I could get sick very easily, so people had to be really careful. But as much as I went through, I had to go through a lot of therapy and a lot of hospital visits, a lot of surgeries. So I went through a lot of obstacles, but I did not let that define who I am. When I was 3 years old, I got my first wheelchair, and it was hot pink, and it was really small. And at first, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't a really good driver, but I had to get a lot of surgeries because my muscles, with CP, your muscles are very, very tight. So they had to lengthen my hamstrings a couple times, and I had to get my hip flexors done a couple times. When I was little, I was in cast for like 8 weeks, and I will never forget this. My physical therapist had to spend Christmas at my house because I was in so much pain, and she needed to stretch me, and I was having horrible spasms, and it was just awful. So yeah, I had to go through a lot of surgeries, a lot of operations, and stuff like that. But I don't let my disability define who I am. I do motivational talks. I work. I volunteer for a lot of organizations. So I just don't let that define who I am. And I'm actually in the process of working on a book about my story with CP and living with cerebral palsy, and I'm hoping one day to get that published, and then my next goal is to eventually sell it so people can buy my book and learn more about me. So check out this video. Please subscribe. Please comment. I love your comments. Positive comments only, please. Thank you so much. Bye.